Good morning. It's wonderful to have you with us here at Unity of Walnut Creek as we take our journey and reach to touch this divine presence this morning. Invite you to take the opportunity to touch that beautiful divine presence within you, to let it grow as we share together the beautiful truth of who we really are. Thank you for joining us.
In this moment, in this place, in the stillness of our open heart, we have come to share the presence of the God within and to hold a sacred space. In this moment, at this time, where we feel the oneness of all, we have come here to build a sanctuary of love. In this moment, in this place, in this moment, in this place. Good morning. Welcome to our service. Please join Carrie and me in singing How Could Anyone Ever Tell You You Are Anything Less Than Beautiful. And I want to invite you, we're going to sing it twice. The first time, I want you to sing it to yourself as if you are looking in a mirror. How could anyone ever tell you you are anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you are less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. Turn to someone and sing it to them. How could anyone ever tell you you are anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. Yes, how deeply you're connected to my soul. I'm Sheila Gautreaux, one of your ministers here. Please join me in acknowledging one of our very favorite performing friends, Carrie Hillary. And also, I invite you to turn toward the cameras and join me in welcoming our friends online. Hi. Your presence is so welcomed here. We love having you with us, and we hope that you'll continue to join us again and again. If you are new to Unity, I want to offer a very special welcome to you and invite you to this positive path for spiritual living. That's what we are at Unity. And what this means is that our teachings, our beliefs, our principles are designed to support you along your life journey in having that glorious life of love and joy and peace, prosperity and wholeness that you were meant to have as beloved sons and daughters of God. We believe there is only one presence and one power, but we acknowledge and respect and appreciate that there are many, many, many paths to that presence. And so we acknowledge them, we honor them. We are founded on the practice of positive, affirmative prayer. We believe that affirmative prayer aligns us with the truth of our being and the truth of God. And so we affirm what is the truth, even in the midst of our challenges. Let's have an experience of that right now. Will you join me in our opening statement together? There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. Oh, let's breathe that in through our hearts. Let's really understand that and hold it deeply within ourselves. And again, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. Let's take that in even deeper. Let it go and move down into the very fiber of our being, touching those 150 trillion cells. And let it expand outward, touching those around you, filling the sanctuary as we say it again. Together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. And holding it in our hearts, we just send it out there into our nation, into our world, and into the universe, so that it may be the truth for all. And we are so grateful that this is the truth. And so it is. Amen. Please join Carrie and me and remain seated in singing, I Am So Blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Let's place our hands on our hearts again. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. Reach out and hold someone's hands as you sing. So blessed. We are so grateful for all that we have. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful. We are so blessed. One more time. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful for all that we have. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful. We are so blessed.
It is so true, isn't it? Just so deeply blessed, every one of us. So I invite you to just take that deep breath through your heart. Feel that gratitude for all the blessing that fills us. And as we enter into our time of prayer and meditation together, just gently breathe that feeling of gratitude, of appreciation. Let it flow through our hearts as we let the music invite us to that very center of our hearts.
Peace be with you. Peace be with you. Shalom. Peace. Salam. Peace be with you. Peace be with you. Shalom. Peace. Salam.
Peace. That divine presence in which we rest. Peace. That place where we're able to touch this divine presence and know that we can release all into its care. We know that we are blessed. Children of the Most High, beloved of God, growing, unfolding according to an infinite wisdom. Mother, Father, God, as we journey within to know you more deeply, we're so grateful to feel your peace. Gently letting go. We open to this blessing. The blessing of being loved right here, right now. We open to this experience of letting go of all our judgments of ourselves. As beloved presence, you release all those things from mind and bring us into this center of our hearts where those illusions fade and we rest at one with you. For this love takes every form in our lives. It is the people and the gifts and the challenges. It is the material world and our inner world. Peace. The gentle presence of your peace right now within our hearts. We rest, we release. In gratitude. We know this, that the Master called us to when he said, peace, be still. This place of stillness where we simply rest at one with the one. Peace. Be still. Mother, Father, God, infinite love, beloved presence, as we awaken to this experience that you are within our hearts, this love and its beautiful transforming power. We take this moment to send this love forth that it might heal and bless and uplift. And so we radiate this love first into our own bodies, calling forth the highest of every cell and system. We send it to mind and heart for wisdom and understanding. And blessed by this love now, we radiate it out We send it to each one who is dear to us. We enfold them in this love. We know that it blesses them with wholeness, with wisdom, with harmony, and with peace. We see the very highest flowing into each life. And this divine love flows through our hearts. We send it across this spiritual community, healing, blessing everyone and all who are in their world, bringing harmony, bringing wisdom, bringing peace and joy. We see this love as it flows to all the prayer requests that come here. We know with each one you are enfolded in divine love and you are lifted to that which is the highest. And this love flows through our hearts. We send it out across the communities in which we live, bringing peace and healing. We send it across our nation, healing its fears and bringing forth its wisdom. We send it on to the peoples of the world, bringing hope and peace. This love flows through our hearts, and we send it to all who join us in prayer, whether in mosque or synagogue, temple or church, whether gathered at home or on the hillsides. For in seeking to know you, we are all one. This beautiful divine love flows through our hearts to Mother Earth. It blesses and brings balance to her system. It brings rain where there is drought. It brings calm where there is storm. It brings blessing to her creatures. And we send this love about the earth that it might touch the heart of every single person in the earth. For, beloved presence, you are that love in every heart. And in this love, we are one. Divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. Please join me. Divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. And again, divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. And once again, divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world.
Oh, peace, salam.
And it is so here now, within the heart of each. Amen.
I am like a ship far away from home, sailing through the icy wind. I am tossed and thrown on the roughest seas. I know that I am not alone, 'cause it's all good. It's all God. It's all God. And it's all good. The road will twist and turn. if I lose my way. I know each lesson that I learn will guide me on my way. The answers I seek live inside. I hear that small voice say, it's all good, it's all God, and it's all God, and it's all good. Why don't you sing that with me? It's all good, it's all good, 'cause it's all God, it's all God, it's all God, and it's all good. I am reaching up, abandoning old schemes. Though this journey may be rough, there's more here than it seems. Each step brings me closer, knowing I can have my dreams. Sing it with me, it's all good, it's all good, 'cause it's all God, it's all God, it's all God, and it's all good. Let's do that again, it's all good, it's all good, 'cause it's all God, and it's all God, and it's all good.
Thank you, Carrie. It's birthday Sunday. So if it's your birthday this month of May, please stand so we can celebrate you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friends. Happy birthday to you. Good morning. My name is Jennifer Hooker, and it's my pleasure to highlight a few of the many upcoming events here at Unity of Walnut Creek. Our Unity youth have been very busy planting and decorating pots, and they will be on the patio today and also next Sunday for our annual plant sale. And you are sure to find something special for Mother's Day, and your donation will go to help the Youth Education Department. Please join Beth Bodorf Seidenspinner the third Saturday in May for her workshop, Support in Healing from Loss. Beth's gracious wisdom and empowerment has helped many of us find understanding, connection, and healing through our losses. And Reverend David will hold a membership orientation class on the third Sunday in May. So if you're interested in taking the step of joining our Unity community, or if you're just interested in learning more about what Unity has to offer, please join us. And for details of these and other wonderful activities, please consult your bulletin and or our website. And until you hear the gong, please enjoy taking a short moment to greet the people immediately around you.
The words to this are, let the love wash over me. I 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 let the love wash over me. Let's stand up and sing, I let the truth. I let the truth wash over me. 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 I let the grace 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 wash over me. I let the joy 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 wash over me. I let the love again. I let the love wash over me. 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 I can't hear you. I let the love wash over me. I let the love wash over me. I let the love wash over me. Good job. Good job. Gonna open up my heart to the world around me. Share a smile with everyone I see. This is what I believe. What we give, we will receive. Gonna open up my heart. Gonna reach right out when somebody needs me. Listen to what their heart needs to share. Gonna try to understand, do the very best I can. Gonna open up my heart. Gonna open up my heart. Gonna try to help someone who is hurting. I'll heal a heart by showing that I care. And I will stay right by their side through the darkest hurtful times. Gonna open up my heart. Gonna open up up my heart. I can see a world full of abundance. Perfection shines in everything I see. It's time to believe in our prosperity. It's time to open up our hearts. Time to open up our hearts. Gonna share a little love with the world around me. I'll do my best to lift somebody up. Share the love I feel inside, something deep I just can't hide. Time to open up my heart. It's time to open up my heart. Share the love we feel inside, something deep we just can't hide. It's time to open up our hearts. It's time to open up our hearts. Let's sing that with me. Time to open up our hearts. Does that sound beautiful? Open up our hearts. Let's do that one more time. Time to open up our hearts.
Yes, we do. So I have had the most fantastic week. I got to go spend 3 days in silence. Wow. And then I came back to our wonderful event yesterday of healing the pain of prejudice, and what a rich, beautiful experience that was. Thank you for everyone who made that possible. Well, last Sunday I shared with you that I really had something very special I wanted to share today, but last Sunday we had to kind of set that foundation of remembering that it's all God. It's all love. That's what this is about. That's what this journey is about, and that our process of spiritual growth is really awakening to that. Now, that brings us to, how do we do that awakening? How do we really support ourselves in stepping into that greater awareness? How do we bring about greater growth? One of the things that I think we've all experienced is everything else is speeding up. So how do we speed up our spiritual growth? And we all know not to do that prayer, okay, God, I'm ready to grow. That tends to bring up the stuff we haven't grown through yet. So how does this happen? There is a very beautiful practice that I realized I had never shared with you in this way. Now, we've talked about the principle that it's applying many times, but it is directly applicable to this experience of coming into greater awareness. And it is based on universal laws that we've known and touched and understand. And the principle that it's based on is very simple. It's the principle of giving. give and it will be given to you. Very simple. Now, most times when we've looked at this, we've applied it to finances. Because in the biblical context that it comes up, that is that's the context that's there. So we take a look at it and we realize, and we understand this, that the very nature of the divine is giving. It's constantly pouring itself into us, into this creative power that we have, into our world. So the more that we align ourselves by giving, the more that we receive, the more that flow happens, and we move from that taking to that giving consciousness and to that flow consciousness. But that same principle that we've applied in the experience of financial abundance also happens in the world of spiritual awareness. As we give, it's given to us. And I've realized that this is something that I've understood and practiced for years, but I very seldom have shared it in this way. When I was growing up, I really saw it modeled quite excellently. My parents were real spiritual seekers. The spiritual growth was very deep and important part of their lives. And they began their spiritual awakening through working with the Edgar Cayce readings. Now, many of you know, Cayce is one of America's best-known psychics. 12,000 some readings that were recorded and researched. And so a lot of data there. And as they began to look and go, wow, there's more here than we were hearing from our church. There's more here than we've been experiencing, and responding to that desire in their hearts, which I think is one that we really share here. This desire for greater awareness of this divine presence, of what is really unfolding here. And as they did that, what I saw was the more they got into it, the more they shared it with others. And our house kind of became the Edgar Cayce group meeting place. You know, there were generally some folks in that room and some folks in that room and over in that room, and they were studying together. And so what they were doing was that which had meaning to them, they were sharing with each other. And what I witnessed was, as they gave that, they grew in their own spiritual awareness. Now, it was around that time that my own response to this desire in my heart began to happen. But I was also going through my teenage years, so I could only cooperate with them to a limited extent. But I began to see in the richness of these ideas, the understanding of the universality of our spiritual nature and of our spiritual growth. And that there were so many aspects to this that were rich. And that began to excite me. And it wasn't until I really began the experience of having to deal with some responsibilities in life, got married, had a child, life changes at that point. And so I wanted to know. So I began practicing meditation. Now, one of the things that let me grow in that experience was sharing it with others. So my house became the meditation house. Okay, it's where we got together for our meditations together. So by giving it and sharing it, what I found was I began to grow in the understanding and the experience of this beautiful spiritual practice. And then some transitions occurred in my life. And a number of years later, actually only a few, I ran across this strange thing called unity. And it resonated with my heart. Because here was some place where we were acknowledging this universal nature of spiritual growth. Here's where we were acknowledging the wisdom from many spiritual paths, and yet being able to focus upon that powerful growth instruction within the Jesus teachings as well. So I found that there was a while that I wasn't willing to share that. I had to just focus on it for my own needs. I had to heal. I had to find how to attune for myself. And that felt wonderful. And then it wasn't okay anymore. There was a point where it was too good. I had to share it with others. And when I began to do that, my growth began to expand. I began to understand that presence and power and that dynamic in ways that I hadn't before. And eventually, I had to look at what was of value to me, because what we're talking about is the real giving that comes from our hearts. Okay, that which we really value. Now, there's a lot of stuff we spend time with that we don't really value. It might be fun, it might be entertaining, it might be interesting, but it doesn't really mean a lot to us. And then there are things that we really value. And those we begin to give away. And as we give, they expand. And what I realized was I was confronted with my values. I had law books to read or spiritual books to read. Law books are boring. And this was so exciting. It was about what we are. It's about how we create life itself. What in the world are we doing here? That was a value to me. So I had to find a way to give that away, because I needed to receive it in greater impact. And that's part of the change that took me into ministry. I'd already begun to give to family and friends and say, hey, check this out. This is fascinating. Now, one of the things I got to share with you is, first of all, even when you're sharing what's most meaningful, you're smart enough not to share it with everybody. Okay? There are folks that you share about the new wine that you found, okay? There are folks that you share about the spiritual growth that you found. They aren't necessarily the same, except probably here. And what happens is there's also this experience that I mentioned where we need to fill. The understanding of giving is a little complicated, because there is a point where giving is not appropriate, where we come and we need to take. We need to receive. There are a lot of people that come to this spiritual community because they are in a point of pain. Now, it may be emotional, it may be financial, it may be how they feel about themselves, it may be turmoil that's happening within them. But they come here and they need to receive. They just need to fill. And let this beautiful spiritual presence, then practices that we're talking about with, take until it begins to overflow. And I know that many of us have been at that point. It begins to overflow. And at that point, that's the opportunity to really grow. That's when we give it. That's when we share it with another. Say, wow, look what I found. Look how wonderful. And you begin to talk. You begin to hear the dialogues happening around you. You begin to understand things differently. as this beautiful, many-faceted life that we're journeying through reflects the learning back to us. And at that point, we have to share it, or it overflows, it doesn't get shared, and it slows. Doesn't stop, but slows. We have the opportunity to expand it by sharing it with others. As I realized the only way that I could really share and enter into my own growth in depth was by letting myself do that for my life. And I want to share, I don't have an evangelical bone in my body. No one is better or worse off because they have or have not experienced what I have to share. Spirit is in charge of their lives, not me. However, I am so grateful for the magnificent beings who have shared what they have found with me. It has meant everything to me. It has let me draw that which I needed and step forward. And out of the generosity of out of their hearts, of the overflowing of the goodness that has touched them, I have been touched and blessed. So I'm grateful to be able to give, to be able to share. You know that difference? Where it's coming from here. It's not because we have to fix anyone or anything. It's just because it's always better than we even thought it was. This experience of giving and growing. I got to share it through the experience of ministry, and then what happened was, as a result of my giving, I was given again. And I found it as the first clergy person to come across HeartMath. And suddenly this desire that I had to understand love at a greater level was given to me. And so I was open to receive. But I'm greedy. I didn't want to receive a little. I wanted to receive a lot. So I went down and got into it and learned it and went around and took it to thousands of people. And the more I gave, the more I got. It is such a beautiful principle. And now I'm talking to a group of people that give generously of this. I know that. The many ways that, many part of becoming a member and sharing that is to be able to say, yes, I'm making a commitment to my growth, but I'm making a commitment to yours too. I'm going to help this happen. I'm going to help this thrive. The people, every time we're giving financially, we're in that. I'm helping other people to experience this, to make sure this is available. It's a blessing. The people, we have so many folks here who teach, who share, who make sure that there's a way that this can touch other lives. So, I acknowledge that I'm talking to us about what we're doing and saying, yes, when that happens, one of the reasons we experience that greater growth is that we are in alignment with the spiritual laws themselves. Jesus' teaching of it. Touch it so many times, but it's always good to go back to. Give and it will be given to you. That's it. Give and it will be given to you. And then he goes on, a good measure pressed down, shaken together, and running over will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Now, the last line is not true. You never only get what you give. It's always more. It's always more. I really think that regardless of how this came to us in translation, that what he's talking about is the attitude with which you give is the attitude with which it returns to you. That, I understand, is a very powerful creative dynamic in this, rather than measure being a quantity experience. Now, if we take that, so let's just switch thought forms for a while and go over to ancient China Lao Tzu and take a look from the Tao. When the ancient masters said, if you want to be given everything, give everything up. They weren't using empty phrases. Only in being lived by the Tao can you be truly yourself. So he qualifies this. If you want to be given everything, give everything up. Says that's a valid teaching, and then he explains it. Only in being lived by the Tao can you be truly yourself. So you're talking about this divine presence, and being lived by this divine presence can you be truly yourself. Now, when in terms of what we're talking about, how does that show up? Now, giving up is a difficult phrase because it implies no longer having or participating in. And that's not what's meant. It's rather giving beyond the self. So that's sharing, that's supporting it, giving to another. Only in being lived by the Tao. Now, what do we experience when we let this divine presence live us? What we know is that expresses as the desires of our heart. So these things that are really valuable to us, we feel within our hearts. And when we let that express, when we give that, when we share that, we give that beyond ourselves, then we can be truly ourselves. Then we discover that spiritual growth. Then we discover who we really are. Now, it's always important to me that I go back and keep remembering what's going on with giving. Basically, every time we give, we're giving to ourselves. I love how that shows up. Woman, let me make sure I got her name here. Sherry Maddox. Sherry was visiting with a friend, Reno, Nevada. Her friend was there for business. And so she went along, enjoyed the trip. While her friend was taking care of the business, she was walking through the stores and everything. It was evening, and there was a sunset coming up. And it was awesome. She looked up and was just overwhelmed by this gorgeous sunset. And it just filled her, and she wanted to share it with someone. And she looked around, and the people were walking by, looking down, and you know how you do that. Don't talk to me. And so she's looking. She wants to share this, and nobody's open. So she couldn't stand it. She just jumped inside one of the department stores, and there's a lady there selling something. So she says to the lady, "Oh, come with me just a moment. Just step outside." So imagine being there and somebody, "Oh, just step out. Just take a moment." So the lady gives in. She steps outside. The two of them are there. And they're looking at this gorgeous sunset. And just in awe of it together. And Jerry says, God is in his heavens and all is right with the world. And they just enjoy that moment. And then she says thank you to the woman for coming out with her, and the woman goes back in. Beautiful moment for Sherry. 4 years later, Sherry's life has changed. She has just gone through a divorce, very difficult emotionally. It was also the collapse of her economic world. And so she's living very simply. And the truth is, a lot of insecurity, serious self-doubt about herself, probably some depression there taking place for her. And she is there in a laundromat taking care of the clothes. She picks up a magazine that's there. It happened to be Unity magazine. And she reads an article. And the article is helpful because it's a woman talking about dealing with the same kind of situation that Sherry's in. She'd gone through a divorce, very, very difficult, finding herself depressed. She talks about how she was, just had no way to support herself. She ended up selling cosmetics at a department store to just make enough, hated what she was doing. Until it turns out one evening, a woman came in and said to her, "You have to come outside and see something. Would you just step outside just for a moment?" And she said she went with this stranger and she stepped outside. And there was this gorgeous sunset. It was so beautiful. And the stranger said, "God is in his heavens. And all is right with the world." And she said it was like she woke up. She knew that was true. She walked back into that store with a commitment to turn her life around. And she did. That's the experience that 4 years later, Sherry is reading about. Everything we give is given to ourselves. If we really value this spiritual growth, and I focus on that because that's the value that we share here. Give it. Not just anybody. We're smarter than that. But what happens is when it begins to overflow from us, there are those that are drawn to us because they sense that. And you share that. And as we share, we grow. It's gentle. It is beautiful. And it is a growth in that which is deepest within our hearts. I share freely. I receive joyfully. I share freely. I receive joyfully. Join me. I share freely. I receive joyfully. You feel that? What a gift. Together. I share freely. I receive joyfully. To give what is really of value. I know this is a generous group of beings. We share very freely. It's taking that moment to recognize what is really meaningful. How do I share that which is deepest to my heart, to my soul, to my journey? Again, I share freely. I receive joyously. The experience of receiving joyfully. The beautiful awareness of this love in which we live and move and have our being is yours. Bless you.
I I ask everyone to please take a connection card from the seat pockets in front of you. And we invite everyone to please take a moment to fill out this card. And with the card, you can request prayer support for something or someone in your life. In addition, our heart ministers are available after the service for that wonderful experience of prayer support, and they are the ones wearing the lavender stoles. And at any time, you can submit a prayer request from our website. Our spiritual focus this week is I share freely and receive joyfully. And the ushers will receive your card with the offering toward the end of the music. It's now time for our prosperity celebration. For credit card donations, there are envelopes in the seat pockets in front of you. And for those of you watching at home, just click on the donate button on our Watch Live page. Unity's co-founder, Charles Fillmore, taught that our spiritual connection opens us to God's abundance expressing in our lives. He said, poverty or prosperity, it all depends on you. All that the Father has is yours, but you alone are responsible for the relationship of the Father's good to your life. Through conscious recognition of your oneness with the Father and his abundance, you draw the living substance into visible supply. I invite you to take your tithe or offering in your hand and be aware that God is the source of all your good. Please repeat our affirmation with me together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Yeah. Oh, lead me to a rock that is too high. Guide me across that river that is too wide. And sit beside me on this place tonight. Should I wander, I can't find your love. Oh, lead me through despair and loneliness. Show me the way out of hopelessness. With your grace filled with tenderness and the faithful power of love. When I'm standing in the darkness and I can't see the gifts of your love in front of me. When my shoulders grow weary from the heavy load, I'll have your love like a hand to hold. So walk me to the edge. Oh, but should I fall, rolling down that mountain, I'll know through it all. Courage I give myself will call your love right to my side. When I'm standing in the darkness and I can't see the gifts of your love in front of me. When my shoulders grow weary from that heavy load, I'll have your love like a hand to hold. So lead me to a rock that is too high. Guide me across that river that is too wide. And sit beside me on this place tonight. Should I wander, I can't find your love. Should I wander, I can't find your love. Should I wander, can't find your love.
All right, our children coming in.
We are walking in the light of God. We
are.
are walking in the light of God. We are walking in the light of God. We are walking in the light of God. We are walking, walking, we are walking, walking. We are walking in the light of God. We are walking, walking, we are walking, walking. We are walking in the light of God.
All right, let's enfold these beautiful beings in our hearts and share our blessing together. Children, you are loved, special, and important. The light of God shines through you. Let's take hands and share together our prayer of protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And our peace song. You are the love and the light and the peace in the earth right now. So let it shine and have fun.
Wash over me. I let the love 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 wash over me.